When the world falls apart, most people think survival means food, water, and shelter. But when governments declare an emergency, a second threat quietly rises, one hidden in plain sight: the law. During disasters, old rules are suspended and new ones appear overnight. Curfews, confiscations, restricted zones, rationing, all in the name of public safety. But for those just trying to protect their families, these laws can turn survival into a crime. This is Deca Facts, and today we're uncovering 10 hidden laws that can jail you after a disaster. 10. Breaking a statewide curfew. After a disaster is declared, governors and mayors often enforce curfews that can last days or even weeks. The goal is to prevent looting and chaos, but it often ends up punishing those simply trying to survive. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, New Orleans set a citywide curfew enforced by police and the National Guard. People walking at night, even to check on family or gather food, were detained. In 2020, after hurricane landfalls and civil unrest, several southern states did the same. It's a reminder that after dark, survival can turn into defiance. 9. Crossing a closed road or evacuation zone. When authorities block off roads or neighborhoods under a mandatory evacuation order, it's considered trespassing or obstruction to go back in, even to your own home. During the California wildfires, homeowners who re-entered evacuation zones to protect their property or rescue animals were arrested for interfering with emergency operations. And after Hurricane Irma in Florida, residents who tried to return early to clear debris faced fines for violating restricted area laws. To a prepper, it's instinct to return and defend what's yours. But under emergency law, that act of courage can land you in a holding cell or paying steep fines. 8. Possessing a firearm in a restricted zone. During declared emergencies, firearm rights can be suspended or limited, even temporarily. Under certain state statutes and local emergency powers, law enforcement can restrict carry rights for public safety. After Hurricane Katrina, police and National Guard units confiscated weapons from civilians. Many were never returned. The outrage was so intense that Congress passed the Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act with provisions to maintain Americans' Second Amendment right during a disaster. In many states, carrying a weapon into a declared emergency area can still lead to arrest, no matter your permit status. 7. Carrying fuel in improper containers. When disaster hits, fuel becomes as valuable as gold, but carrying or storing it the wrong way can land you in serious trouble. After Hurricane Sandy in 2012, several states cracked down on people transporting gasoline in unapproved containers, citing fire hazards and safety violations. Even something as simple as filling up old water jugs or plastic drums can be considered a violation of Department of Transportation or EPA regulations. In some states, officers issued fines on the spot, and in others, repeat offenders were charged for unsafe transport of hazardous material. So even when you're just trying to keep your generator running, using the wrong container could make you a criminal instead of a survivor. 6. Defying mandatory evacuation orders. You'd think refusing to leave your own home wouldn't be a crime, but in many states it is. Under state emergency management laws, officials can forcibly remove or detain individuals who refuse to evacuate. In Texas and North Carolina, these powers have been used during hurricanes. Officials claim it's for public safety, but those who stay behind can be charged or fined, even billed later for their own rescue. Local governments don't consider staying behind courageous. It's seen as resistance. If this is opening your eyes, subscribe to Deca Facts. We break down the laws, power moves, and historical moments that shape how real survival works, and how easy it is to lose control when the system collapses. New videos are uploaded every week. Let's get back to the countdown. 5. Using unlicensed radios or drones. In a communication blackout, a simple ham radio or drone could be life-saving, but also illegal without authorization. After Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, volunteers who used unlicensed frequencies to coordinate aid were warned by the FCC. And during California's wildfires, private drone users were arrested for flying over restricted zones to check on property damage. During emergencies, communication and airspace belong to the government. Even if your intent is good, using the wrong tool at the wrong time can bring federal charges. 4. Carrying a weapon with an expired permit. Emergencies shut down everything, including government offices. But that doesn't stop the law from enforcing permits that quietly expire mid-crisis. During the pandemic lockdowns, some states like Illinois extended firearm permit deadlines, but others didn't. That means firearm owners find themselves in legal limbo when emergency declarations shut down offices or delay renewals. There are some states like Florida that have very specific exceptions, such as if you are under a mandatory evacuation order. In a crisis, bureaucracy doesn't care what you need to defend your home and family. The rules are the rules. 3. Self-defense misread as vigilantism. When chaos hits, police can't be everywhere, and naturally most people would protect their families by any means necessary. But once order is restored, those same actions can be viewed as vigilantism, assault, or worse. After Hurricane Katrina, residents in New Orleans' Algiers Point formed armed neighborhood watches. They defended their streets against looters, and were later investigated for unlawful use of force. The gray area between defense and crime grows wider when disaster strikes. And history shows that, after the smoke clears, justice often rewrites the story. 2. Using restricted roads or emergency routes. When disaster declarations hit, certain roads, bridges, and tunnels become emergency use only, reserved for police, rescue, or supply vehicles. In Florida's 2017 hurricane evacuation, drivers who entered blocked lanes were arrested under emergency traffic orders. Even if your intent is survival, escaping the storm or getting medicine, it doesn't matter. Emergency law draws lines, and crossing them can mean fines, confiscation, or jail. 1. Price gouging. When disaster strikes, prices always rise, but raising or even reselling goods can be illegal under state and federal price gouging laws. In most U.S. states, once an emergency is declared, selling essentials like food, gas, or medical supplies for unreasonable profit can lead to hefty fines or jail time, even if your intent is fair trade or community barter. During Hurricane Harvey in 2017, several Texans were arrested for charging more than 10% above retail for bottled water and fuel. And in the most recent pandemic, people selling masks or sanitizer online faced federal investigations under the Defense Production Act for profiteering during crisis. For preppers who store extra supplies, this means one wrong trade or sale could cross the line. In survival mode, the free market stops being free. Emergencies challenge our resilience and our freedom. And time after time, we've seen how easily those freedoms are suspended the moment a siren sounds or an alert flashes. But knowing the law is a kind of preparation too. Because when others panic, you'll already know the rules of the new game and how to navigate them without losing your rights. Thanks for watching Deca Facts. We release new videos every week exploring how history, law, and survival collide when the system breaks down. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you in the next countdown.